Richard is here.
Okay, good. So we almost have everyone. Just a few more missing, but we should. Hello, Richard. Nice to see you. Waiting a few more seconds for everyone to connect, and we should be good to go. People, right? Okay, so I guess we can start on. Okay.
Mathieu is coming.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay, hello, Matthew.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world.
Hi, buddy.
Hello. So I guess we can start, and the other ones we just take the train. So well, first, good morning Grenoble, and good afternoon or good evening Taiwan. So I'm very pleased to meet every one of you virtually, and of course it would be so much better when we can actually meet physically, but in the meantime we have to make do with this. So today we are welcoming the FAISE winners from Taiwan, and also have with the FAISE stakeholders in Grenoble, as well as some very special guests who will attend the session. We have 1 hour, which will be spent as we have you have the agenda on your screen, and I will ask first to all the participants to turn their camera so I can introduce briefly everyone. Afterwards, of course, I'll ask everyone to turn the mic off when the person will be presenting. So besides the FAISE stakeholder, who will be presenting afterwards, our special guests today include Philippe Raz. Raise your hand, Philippe.
That's me.
He's a French Tech founding member of the executive committee of the French Tech in the Alps Grenoble, as well also as working in HPE, and is very active in our ecosystem. Then we have also our legal expert, Richard Kleeman, from Vasco Legal, and he will be giving later on a masterclass in the program on legal aspects of setting up a company in Grenoble. Then we have Gabrielle Coll from Breeze Relocation, sorting out all the practical aspects of having your life in Grenoble. Gabrielle. Then we have Gillian Dover, who is a co-founder and VP Marketing and Biz Dev at PDA Ecolab, a startup which was founded in Grenoble. You most likely have seen her in a movie. We have also Matthew, who is also an international entrepreneur, having set him up a company in Grenoble for a long time, CEO of Field Cloud. Then who else have I forgotten? Because there might be some people who have connected in the meantime. Then we have some colleagues of mine, Justine, who is part of our team in Invest in Grenoble Alpes, and our representative also Terence in Switzerland. And many will see who connects in the meantime. The other stakeholders from the program will be presenting shortly. And then I will just let Emily present FAISE very briefly, and then go on to the partner speeches.
Hello, good morning, good evening, everyone. Welcome to FAISE program. So I'm Emily Rondet. I'm part of the FAISE program, and I'm also the managing director of French Tech in the Alps at Grenoble. FAISE means French Alps International Soft Landing Exchange. I will tell you briefly why we created the program, what are these objectives, who is part of it, and what we actually do. Even at the startup stage, there are strategic issues in terms of international development. And this is a topic many startups and entrepreneurs have to address very early when they develop their companies, and they need support to do it. So FAISE is a program to help you to do it. So we decided to create a program that fits with the startup concerns. It means make their soft landing safer. And to do it, we build a collaborative ecosystem to ecosystem project. And the first countries involved in these programs are Taiwan and Canada with the region of British Columbia. So you are the first one, the first batch of the FAISE program startups. So welcome and congratulations. During your bootcamp, you are also going to meet other startups from Canada. So it will be a great way also to connect with other countries. The program is, has been built in a collaborative way. The project is financed by the French government through the initiative La French Tech. We will explain you what it means later. It's coordinated by its representation, French Tech in the Alps, which I'm part of it. This is a local consortium, including also Invest in Grenoble with Véronique and Alexandrine, Tarmac Incubator with Claire, and also associated partners, especially French Tech Taiwan with Pascal, and Empowered Startup. Laura is not here, but we will explain you what is it. And the three objectives of FAISE program is first one, supporting the international development of local startups in each ecosystem by giving global entrepreneurs all the necessary information to choose the right site for their international lending. The second one is to increase the visibility of secondary ecosystem. We are not the Silicon Valley, we are not Boston, Paris or Shanghai, but we have specific tools, specific contacts, specific ecosystem to help you. And all the startups, all the projects are not, could not find the right fit in this kind of region like Silicon Valley and Boston, Paris or Shanghai. And the third one is for an international entrepreneur setting up a business in a foreign country is not only a professional adventure, but also a life choice. So the program aims at giving them all the toolbox they need, so you need, to take this amazing leap of faith. So in action, and this is what you did, each ecosystem will have issue a call for interest to prospective candidates, then select the most major projects to come over and attend dedicated bootcamps, providing critical business intelligence and contacts needed before choosing to create a presence abroad or, for example, in Grenoble Alps.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Emily. We'll just go on with the presentation of the partners. And just to make things clear, if you have any questions, please write them in the chat, and then we'll just address them later on at the end of the session with the Q&A session. So we'll let the partners then, and starting with French Tech in the Alps.
Thank you, and thank you, Véronique and Emily. So my name is Philippe Raz. I'm member of the Executive Committee of French Tech in Grenoble, which is has been created in 2015 under the French initiative, at that time led by the Minister of Economy, now President of France, Emmanuel Macron. In 2015, 220 million of euros have been put, about 250,000 American dollars have been put on the table by the Ministers of Economy to help French tech and French startups. how was this done? Simply by putting onto the table 20 million to make sure that French startups are brought to international economy and brought to international environment, such as, for example, CES in Las Vegas. And then the rest of the investment, 200 million, were done through Banque Publique d'Investissement, so a public investment bank that through incubators can bring accelerations to French startups. So the French Tech has been created in 2015. I'm one of the founder in Grenoble, and Grenoble was one of the first 9 projects that were supported by the National French Tech Committee. And now we have 13 French Tech capitals in France. So why 13? Simply because it has been a growing project over the last 5 years. And we have also 48 French Tech communities in different cities in the world. But just like Emily explained, French Tech is a both way of working. And when we deal with French Tech in the Alps, which is basically all of the Alps ecosystem from Geneva, Switzerland, to south of France, I would say, where I'm located right now, we have a very dense ecosystem of startups that have been created over the last, let's say, 15 years. All of them existed, but supported in different manners with different ecosystem. Myself, I am a business angels since 15 years. We support, for example, we supported the creation of French Tech in 2015 through supporting some of the startups that were implemented and established in Grenoble. So what are the key projects that we have in the Alps? I'll give you 2 examples. One of the examples has been the creation of a campus, which is a lean way of helping students to go into digital economy for people that were not necessarily educated or were educated, but in type of engineering developments that were not necessarily using digital technologies. So up to now, we have put back to education system or work, thanks to the communities and thanks to the different startup associations and projects, more than 250 young people back to work through that. Another project has been experimentations and scale up, Territoire Solution, which is helping proof of concept testing for startups that have established into the system. So I would say French Tech is a very dense, very dynamic, and here to help success of a startup that establish. That's my view of French Tech.
Okay, now we go into the next partner, which is Tarmac.
Hello, everybody. I'm Claire. I'm the managing director of Tarmac Incubator. It's an incubator that has been created 7 years ago and which is managed by an association of entrepreneurs. So we provide to young startups an all-inclusive offer with a plug-and-play flexible rental of full equipped offices and meeting rooms, and we have a fab lab to prototype. We have some services, daily services. We have also an entrepreneurial booster program. That means we help entrepreneurs to identify professional experts. We work with everybody in the Grenoble ecosystem. For example, with Richard, who is a partner of Tarmac. We organize around 100 professional events by year, such as trainings, workshops, social events, meetups, to help entrepreneurs also share their best practices. And we have boosted around 90 startups. And you have our track record here, and we can host any technical startups. So we have some digital startups, we have some medtech startups, we have some smart energy startups, we have some sport tech, we have some biotech. So we have a very large variety of startups at Tarmac. We have around 30 startups incubated by year, and startups can stay around 3 years at Tarmac. And we are also labelized the French Tech Visa to help foreign entrepreneurs to come to France and to set up in France. So that's why we have, for example, PDA Group at Tarmac, because the co-founder of Gillian, Lance, was American. And so we helped him through the French Tech Visa to set up his startup here in France, in Grenoble and in Tarmac.
Our next partner.
Hello everyone, my name is Alexandrine Romestan and I work at Invest in Grenoble Alpes. 2 persons for the Invest in Grenoble Alpes team are mainly involved in this FAISE project, Véronique and I. Invest in Grenoble Alpes is the greater Grenoble team dedicated to promote Grenoble Alpes business, industry ecosystem and its assets internationally. We offer personalized support for French and foreign companies exploring business opportunities and setting up in Grenoble Alpes. And we deliver free, confidential and tailored support that responds to specific needs of entrepreneurs, such as legal, financial, or real estate aspects. We act as a one-stop shop to connect you to the right expert at the right time. So we are part of FAISE 1 consortium, and now we are deeply involved in FAISE 2.
Thanks, Alexandrine. And I'll just add also that Invest in Grenoble Alpes is also working with consultants all around the world, in Taipei with Pascal, in Switzerland with Terence, in the US with Sharon, and in Korea as well with Haley. Now our next.
So I think I will do it. So again, I'm Pascal. So I'm also, as you know, I'm representing Grenoble Alpes in Taiwan, but I'm also a co-founder of the French Tech Taiwan back in 2016, when we got the first label from the French government. And so I'm still a board member of the association here in Taiwan. So it's one of the community around the world, as it has been introduced earlier. Very active. Again, we have been labeled again in 2019 as a community. We are labeled as Taiwan and not as Taipei. So it means that we are covering the island, and we do have people in Taichung, in Tainan, in the south of the island as well. So we are covering all the ecosystems across the island of Taiwan. Of course, we manage the community here by organizing events, but we have, I can highlight maybe 2 or 3 activities on top of FAISE. We are launching a French Tech Jet. We launched actually already a French Tech Jet, which is a job board helping startups to hire Taiwanese talents around the world. So not only back to France, but anywhere in the world. This is a very interesting tool for any startup interested by Taiwanese talents. We are doing a lot of activities on the market growth and market reach in Taiwan. And that's why we are partner of FAISE, of course, in that regard. And we are also, of course, connecting with the French tech community around the world, in Asia, where we have a strong leadership with all the French tech communities here in Asia, and also with the French side. So we are involved in FAISE in 2 directions. So first, we have selected the startup to spend some time in France, but we are also very anxious to receive the batch of French startups in Taiwan, hopefully next year. So that was my quick introduction of French Tech Taiwan.
Thanks, Pascal. And before we listen to the, you mentioned the incubation, a few words about the incubation platform that we are using, maybe. Pascal?
Sorry.
We have here the slide is about the incubation platform we're using from our Canadian partner. Just a few words about it.
Yeah, so this is set up by our partner in Canada, but actually it's open to everybody. So it's called Empowered Startup Platform. So I think you received all the login information and so on. So it's really interesting. You can use that tool free of charge for 1 year. It's enable you to have free training, especially on the lean startup concept. So I really encourage you to go to discover that concept if you don't understand it, or if you want to practice this concept with your startup. And we have mentoring activities through the platform, and some e-training program for that. So for you AI plugs, and for you Mr. J and you, Jim, I mean, feel free to use those ones. It's enabling also exchange between the different partners of the project.
Okay, so I'll just try to go a little bit quicker because we're a little bit late on schedule. So I'll just be very quick because you might have seen the movie, giving you a few snapshots about our ecosystem, just to remind you a few facts and figures. So as you say, we like to call ourselves the Startup Valley, even if it's on the shorter scale than the Silicon Valley. Alexandrine, can you go on to the next slide, please? Just a few figures about Grenoble Alpes, which is a rather small city, but large enough. We mentioned we have a large English-speaking community, which makes it a bit easier for international. We are known also as one of the best cities for bike commuters, because even though we have a lot of mountains, the city is completely flat with a lot of bike routes, and we've been elected the European Green Capital just a few weeks ago. Alexandrine, go ahead. Next slide. So even though we advertise on our startup ecosystem, this is a reminder that we are a major hub for industry. We've got a lot of industrial stakeholders, either in the digital world, but also, as you can see, Caterpillar, for example, in a much more heavy duty industry, as well as sports industry, for example, with Petzl. Air Liquide also is one major stakeholder, Siemens. So these are all names that are very important for startups in the industrial world who want to address this kind of sectors. Next slide, please. Here is the setting. So we see, as you see, we are surrounded by 3 mountain ranges and very concentrated. That means everybody has to fit in the valley, and this means that within a 20-kilometer radius, basically you found just about everyone. Next slide, please. Some of the big names, as you said, you're pretty familiar with them, but as you can see, very international. About half of our major industrial stakeholders are actually international firms. So that makes it also pretty much easier for international startups also to address the market. Next slide, please. These are also some of the names of companies actually born in Grenoble. I know that in Taiwan you're pretty fond of the Chartreuse. I know there are some special bars. Poma also, which actually made one of the cable car that's in Taipei, for example. The ski company Rossignol, Araimon, which is in the automotive industry, and Schneider Electric also, which is a well-known leader. All of these were born in Grenoble. Next slide, please. We are pretty famous also for our research community. In France, we are the second most important research community with a major part of the population active in this. Very also important student community, and pretty well known for the scientific fields. Our university was awarded was among the 100 top rankings in the Shanghai ranking, which was the only French university besides the Paris University. We've got major also research facilities which are financed internationally. This is a view of the university campus, which is not bad, as you can see. And as I was saying, we are really a student city. and we pretty well known among the world, with lots of collaborations also between our universities. I know there's a lot of collaboration, for example, between the university in Grenoble and lots of universities in Taiwan as well. Go on, next slide. And when it comes to our startups, we have a pretty unique startup community, even though it's not as big as the Silicon Valley. But in France, it's really special because we really have here in our valley an entrepreneur spirit. And this is the number of startups which have been created since 2000, with quite a lot of money for France being raised as well, because we are very deep tech oriented. And we've even during the lockdown, actually, we've seen very heavy fundraising. If we go to the next slide, you can see who's raised some money. You see on the top of the list, for example, McFi, which is involved in hydrogen, has raised, I think it was last week, 180 million euros, which is pretty big by French standard. Aledia in the micro display also has, a few weeks ago, has raised 80 million euros. So you can see that, and then the other ones, Diabeloop is in diabetes, artificial pancreas, for example, has raised also money during the lockdown. So this means also it's a pretty good place if you are really on your way to the round of funding. Next slide, please. So this is, and this has created quite a number of jobs, because basically I would say the startups are among the top employers in our ecosystem. As you said, that almost 5,000 jobs are actually counted in all these startups. Next slide, please. And so this means we have a really support system, an innovation support system for these startups. Beside the French Tech, we have, of course, networking and event. We have education. Our university is very heavily involved also in the startup creation. Funding also, even it's sometimes it's most likely on the national and international basis, but it's very active here. We have workplaces as well with co-working spaces. We have incubators, some of them dedicated to specific topics. And then we have also the research and the open innovation spirit also among big groups or big organizations. Next slide, please. So this is it, and I'll just go very shortly. And as I said, we will distribute anyway the slide deck. So we can go on, which are the main also aspect of this event today is really to learn all about our winners, and we'll let you share with us what you are doing. So who goes first?
Yeah, I think the first, just a quick introduction about the process and what we.
Yeah, sorry, don't forget you, Pascal.
Yeah, it's fine, no problem. I will be very quick. So basically, we launched the FAISE project. It was called GIN at that time, end of March 26th. And you see on the left side, it was the kickoff meeting. We did it at the French Chamber of Commerce in Taipei, which is one of the partners of La French Tech. We get about 15 people around at that time. It was really at the middle of the big concern on the coronavirus in Taiwan, but we were very happy to organize the event. We got about 10 candidates, and we evaluated each project, of course, and we selected and we announced in early June, if I remember, the two candidates, the two laureates, the two winners. So here you have the two pictures of when I hand over officially the welcome box package to Mr. J, who is with us, and to Alfred Wu, who is not with us, but who is one of the co-founder of AI Plus. At the time it was called IP Plus, so they changed also their name. So that's it, and I think it's time for the two winners to introduce their company now. So maybe we start with. So maybe I need to switch. We'll start with you, Mr. J.
Okay.
With you, Nijim. So I need to share my screen now.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. That's the one. Oops, sorry. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, there's big. Sorry, I need to go first slide. Sorry.
Okay. This is the one.
Can you see it? It's okay.
Yes.
Everyone. Yeah.
You can see
All right.
your screen.
Okay. Thank you everyone for the chance for me to this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For me to introduce Unigym to everyone. You can hear me, right? Is everyone okay? Can hear me clearly? All right. And actually, Unigym was initiated as a NGO program to help university to do to improve their fitness programs. And we are actually an AI and cloud computing technology company. We are actually creating real-time interactive fitness content on the internet platform. And we try to make exercise really affordable, connected, convenient, and fun. So in this way, everyone can really enjoy their exercise in anytime, anywhere. And so the problem we try to solve is like people always stay at home, gym are expensive, and coach time is always limited. So, and we also know the smart home fitness is really become a global trend before and especially after COVID-19. So we provide a solution, which is, as I say, convenient, connected, affordable, and especially important, interactive. So what we do really is that we try to create the fitness program again, time feedback. And also we will create a post-session feedback for everyone. So encourage the users to get more achievements. So the technology we use really in two aspects. One is we're using AI technology to create contents. So actually we are able to create content in a very efficient and massive way. We actually can have more like 8 to 10 times faster than a normal way to producing fitness contents. And we are accumulate more than 1,000 programs now, and we are producing about more than 60 programs per month at the moment. And hopefully we will start to producing French fitness content as soon as we station in Grenoble. And the other thing we are using AI is to detect our body postures and measure our heart rates. So the users can really understand what is your exercise condition in real time to know you are doing the right way, or how is your energy consumption, etc. So we're using AI in content production and body detections. So this is roughly the content we're producing and the way people are using us. So you can see on the left-hand side, people actually can exercise at home and with almost no extra hardware you need to purchase. Basically, you download from Google Play, and you just need a webcam, and using a set-top box at home, you can play something exactly like Xbox. Or you can use it in a studio like on the right-hand side here, and people can have the program in a very immersive environment like a discotheque, but actually following a professional program to do exercise. Oh, sorry.
What's that?
Okay.
Yep.
Next. Okay. So you will be able to see this is the reason why we can reduce the entry barrier is because for people to using Unigym is because we're using the cloud computing systems. So the heavy computing and algorithm was carried out by the cloud. So people at home or anytime, anywhere, they can use their set-top box, they can use a mobile phone or any very low entry devices, IoT devices. So they can enjoy this fitness program. So in sum, in summary, we have two products. One is UniHome, which for you to do exercise at home, or UniCube, which allow you to do exercise in public venues. So the business model is very straightforward. We are monthly subscription, nothing further. So you do not have to pay heavy membership in advance. Basically, you pay just like Netflix. You know, you pay a very reasonable, affordable monthly fee. Then you can enjoy unlimited, massive fitness content from internet. And the market strategy we have is we working with our business partners, which will help us to access massive end users through the corporations, such as the carriers or technical partners. Okay, so why are we better? We do not need expensive equipment. We can use at home or any dedicated venues, and we get interactive and personalized feedback. So we have a comparison with our various competitors. We do not have something similar, but we do have various type of competitors in terms of interactivities or affordabilities. And so this is basically the reason why we are outstanding in terms of affordability and interactivities. We already have working with many partners, especially in Taiwan and mainland China. And virtually, we have our official launch in Taiwan in this month, early next month, in early November. And we also will have our service launch in mainland China by end of this year. So this is especially a case. We working together with Decathlon in Taipei, and they like us very well, and we really make a Decathlon mega store become a family rooms. A lot of kids enjoy our program, and obviously we also have adults to using our immersive environment to do exercise. And this is our forecasting for our client and our users and revenues. So the roadmap, basically, we are looking forward to accomplish our traction in Taiwan and mainland China by end of this year and early next year. And hopefully we'll get our funding in the second quarter next year, and we'll start our overseas expansion. And at the moment, actually, we already start access to Japanese market, Korean market, Indonesian market, and Thailand market. So we have 3 offices at the moment. We have about 27 people altogether. We have an office in Taipei and one in Beijing and the other one in Shenzhen. So we are looking for business partners, of course, and also investors. We are just recently, actually this month, closed our pre-A round for $1.4 million US. Thank you very much. This is our report.
Thank you, Mr. Jie.
Thank you so much. We'll go on to the next presentation, and then we'll keep the questions for later on. Okay.
Okay, so I think it's Vincent or Ines. Which one would like? Vincent. So I think you need to share your presentation.
Okay, then Ines will introduce us first.
Yes, sure, of course.
Ok. Je m'appelle Inès et il s'appelle Vincent. Nous sommes de AI Plax qui se spécialise des inscriptions des marques et des brevets. Mais bon, puisque c'est...
There's a lesson.
That's my fault, sorry.
Oui, puisque c'est une occasion on parle tout en anglais, je laisse représenter à Vincent notre développement des affaires. Oui.
Okay, thanks Ines for introduction. Okay, so okay, so hello everyone. I'm Vincent from AirPlux. And before I started to introduce our service, I would like to share some cases with you. The first one, Apple they paid $60 million for the name iPad. Louis Vuitton, I'm not sure whether I'm pronouncing it right, but they almost paid 13 million euros for the brand and almost lost the market of China. And also the designer of this unique bamboo bag of Kaya is not the owner of the patent of this kind of design. All this happened because people don't apply for IP protection or they did it too late. But why don't people apply for IP protection? From our experience, it's because it's very expensive, I think. Yeah, and it doesn't only cost you money, it also costs you, it's very time consuming and very energy consuming. So fundamentally, it's because the language barrier and local regulations between countries. Every country has their own IP regulations written in their own language. So if someone wants to apply for IP application, they will need to overcome this kind of barrier. For example, if someone wants to file the patent case within the US, European Union, and China, they may go to a local law firm, and the law firm will pass these cases to the patent lawyers. But the problem is you won't know who these patent lawyers are, and you don't know their background, so it's very likely you will get a result you don't like. And you will need to go to another law firm and they will draft you the application again. So we can imagine that this is very suffering process and very costly. To be more specific, this will cost around 20,000 euros for one patent application. So this kind of high application cost result in a very low application rate, especially in Europe, because of the absolute novelty requirement in European Union. The application rate of European Union is the lowest, and it ends up that most of the intellectual property in the market is not protected, like iPad and the name of Louis Vuitton. Okay, and in view of that, we AI+, we are creating a multilingual and cross-border platform that allows everyone, every creators, every enterprise, they can apply their IP protection easily. For example, with our platform, with AI matching system, we'll recommend you the most suitable IP patent lawyer. And you will know his approval rate, you'll know his review, you'll know his area of expertise, and you can also communicate with him in the process of drafting. So we can imagine that because this guy has the same professional as you, so he will give you a better result within a shorter time. Also, as mentioned, the cost used to be 20,000 euros, and with our platform, it can be lower than 5,000 euros. So it's like a 70% off of cost. Also, for a trademark application, it's even easier. It's like ordering clothes online. You just click, follow our online instruction, and you will be able to file your own trademark by yourself. You don't need to hire a lawyer to do that, and you can save the money for more productive activities, not just hiring a lawyer to do so. And compared to our competitors, AI+ is now the only one that do global application and with the only one that do multilingual. And we do it with lower cost and shorter time. we do all of this based on our IP database. So we have our own NLP algorithm and AI drafting assistant. Before, those patent lawyers, they draft everything from a blank Word document like that. So it's a very suffering process and it takes a lot of time. But with our system, they can enhance their approval rate within a shorter time. And also the matching system we mentioned and smart trademark classifier. All these are based on our own IP database. So we are honored to have be able to collaborate it with more than 10 incubator and accelerator until now. And mostly we provide our platform and our IP services to their startups. So we will definitely want to collaborate with more organizations in Grenoble. And yeah, the way we can help are like, we can provide our API of our platform, like the startup platform you showed us, and your team can directly use it. Or we can provide our promotion codes of our website, so your teams can apply for like trademarks without any service fee, just paying the government fee. And we will also love to share some our IP knowledge in your community and make the startup community stronger and help everyone to protect their rights. So this is our team. As mentioned, the Wu Pengjun is our CEO. He is a very senior IP professional and a serial entrepreneur. And Nancy will be our US branch general manager. She has 3 lawyer licenses in the US. And Vincent Wang is our CTO, professional in NLP, natural language processing. And Mr. Liu here, Mr. Liu is the godfather of IP industry in Taiwan. He has trained more than 10,000 IP engineers in Taiwan. And also Ma Weiyun, Professor Ma Weiyun is a very admirable AI professional in Taiwan. He's a researcher in Academia Sinica. So basically this is our presentation, and we are IP AI plugs, and we are quick, we are cost efficient, and we can help you to protect your IP from everywhere. And we hope to collaborate with more organizations in France and other Europe. Thank you.
Thanks you to these two really very interesting presentations. I'm sure we'll have plenty of questions. First of all, I guess we can all try on the Unigym app maybe during these lockdown times. That might come in pretty useful. And as far as the IP issues are concerned, I'm sure there are, this is really something that's very important as well among our startups and our entrepreneurs. So if anyone, we have about 10 minutes for some questions. So if anyone has questions, can they actually write them on the chat, and we'll just have them. And then afterwards, of course, we'll set up, we can set up some more meetings, and also we'll just share the emails from everyone, so some dialogue can actually continue. So do we have any questions on the chat? Okay, I have a question from Philippe, who says, what is the business model? From which companies are you asking, Philippe?
Probably for us, right?
Okay, so can you answer? Can one of the company answer about the business model?
So the business model of our company for AI plugs is we do subscription, and we charge per case. So if you want, for example, for filing, if you want to look for a patent lawyer on our matching system, we will cost you a fee. And we do our business from, we can enhance the speed of a patent lawyer drafting patent, and we can enhance the approval rate. So we can have a better result for the client.
Another question from Richard Kleeman, our lawyer, who says, I guess it's to both startups. What are your objectives for setting up in Grenoble? Who wants to start? Unigym?
Yes. I think Unigym is really a system suitable for doing the globalized market, and we do need a base in Europe, and so we are very lucky to know Pascal, and we really think we need to have a standing point in Europe with your help. So that's the reason. I mean, for the European market, I think Grenoble will be an ideal location for us to start.
And about AAP plus, AA plus.
So for our company, we are looking for collaborations with other incubator or accelerators. So we would like to share our platform and maybe help your startups to make them protect their IPs.
Okay, I have also Philippe Praz, who says to, I guess you're talking to AI Plus, that they say, he says there's a startup in Grenoble that's called Scopai, which has the same kind of business model as yours and could help you find some more customers. Yeah, Scopai is actually also a partner from Grenoble Alpes Métropole and mapping out all the startups in the world using AI, especially trying to look for the next unicorns and such.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, we'll take a look on this Scopai.
Mm-hmm. Any more questions from the audience?
Not from me.
Okay, and any more questions from the companies, from our winners to our local stakeholders? I mean, do you have some specific questions? Of course, I know you probably have plenty of questions, but then if you have one question that you'd like to ask to the audience here.
I think we're still organizing about the questions, so maybe we'll email you later. Thank you.
Okay, okay, that's good. Anyway, yes, and Unigym as well. Have you either one of you ever been to Europe and France? But
I have been in Europe for more than 14 years. I was training in UK, okay. And during my stay I do visit France many times, but not to Grenoble, unfortunately. But I hope I have the chance soon.
Okay, and what about you guys?
Just been in France.
Yes, I have been in France as an exchange student at Limoges, and it's a very beautiful city. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in Spain. I've been in Spain for 1 year to study Spanish.
Okay. Okay, so France is pretty familiar to you. So I guess we will just be right on time for the session, actually. If there are not any more questions and exchange, and of course, there will be plenty afterwards, plenty of new questions which will arise when the program carries on. But we can basically conclude this session. And first of all, I would just like to thank the participants. Of course, our two winners. We are really happy to meet you, even if it's not in person. It's really good to see you at least on the screen. And we really hope that you will be able to come as soon as possible. Of course, there are some things that we cannot, I mean, we don't know how things are going to be, but we can hope. And as well as also thank to all the participants who have been or will be very active also in making sure that you guys are welcome here and get the most for the environment. If we go to the next slide, I will just explain, what our basically what our next steps are going to be. So the idea also, depending on your specific questions, is maybe for us to set up specific meetings with some of our experts. We have, for example, Richard on the legal aspect. You might have some questions concerning the IP or whatever it is. We have also a person here from Breeze Relocation concerning the personal aspects, because that's a very important part as well. But also we have some other experts who are not able to attend this specific session, but for example, on financing, accounting, or the business, also the business culture as well, or concerning, I don't know, French classes, for example. So basically, we will try to set up some B2B meetings between you guys and these experts. Then the idea is for you to have this boot camp, which was supposed to be physically, to be in real time. Part of it will be digitalized, and the idea is to have live master classes concerning the legal aspects, the financing aspect, the relocation culture, business culture, which will take place during the first week of December. Also, you have received an invitation from the high-level forum chair, inviting you guys to actually give some short video testimonials and shortcuts to be displayed during a startup session during our digital high-level forum, which is going to take place on December the 1st. And so this is really something that might be very important for you, because the high-level forum basically gathers ecosystems all around the world, whether it's from Taiwan, Japan, the US, Europe, and so on. And then these master classes are most likely going to take place on December the 3rd, I would say. We are still choosing the best dates. They will be held physically in the Tarmac incubator with our experts, and they will be filmed. And then some of the sessions will be live from some of you, depending on the time zone. But then they will be filmed, and then you will be able to attend them, if not in real time, then afterwards. And then, of course, the idea is to have you guys in live bootcamp in Grenoble as soon as it's possible, and possibly during the high-level forum in 2021. And hopefully by then we'll be able to travel a little bit more easily. We'll see. I mean, and we'll just hope for the best. And thank you again for participating in this event. I don't know if anyone wants to add a few words about it. Philippe, as the French tech representative, maybe?
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you for, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for organizing that. Congratulations to the two companies. I think you made the right choice by applying, by engaging, and I think you will not be disappointed by your choice. The full team here is here to help. There's companies from very small to very large companies in the ecosystem, and they are all there to help and bring more to the communities. I mentioned a few examples like Scopai, but there's many like that. So congratulations. We really want to help further. And Véronique, thank you very much for liaising that. And Emily, congratulations also to French Tech for coordinating all of that.
And as a last work, also there were in the audience, we had two international entrepreneurs, Gillian and Matthew. They, each of them came from a different country and created its own company here in Grenoble. So I'm sure they will be very happy also to share their own experience and what it is about creating your company in Grenoble when you're actually coming from far away. So thank you all. And I think that will be the conclusion of our session today. And well, we hope to meet you very, very soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, everybody.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
thank you, Veronique, for the opportunity.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers.